downtown where you can get a date for 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. Now available in paperback and Kindle, All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. Better get the cool slow, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Actress Camille Winbush from The Bernie Mac Show says that she has to pose for sexually provocative pictures on OnlyFans because she cannot be able to live off the royalties from The Bernie Mac Show that came on years ago. Now, Camille Winbush says that she cannot find a 9-to-5 job, and because she couldn't find a 9-to-5 job, what she had to do was go out and pose on OnlyFans in sexually provocative pictures in order to make a living. Now, as someone who has studied the entertainment industry for over 25 years, I have to call BS on that argument that Camille Winbush is proposing. Now, I know that there are a lot of struggles for black actresses in Hollywood, and I detail those in my screenplay book, All About Marilyn, but when I listen to Camille Winbush, all I hear is a lot of BS as related to her having to go out and pose for those sexually provocative pictures on the pay site OnlyFans. Now, when it comes to black actresses do have a much harder time in Hollywood due to the fact that most screenwriters like myself oftentimes cannot get a screenplay sold with a black female lead because most black female leads usually don't wind up performing very well at the box office. And when it comes to Camille Winbush, she also has to possibly deal with colorism because most casting directors prefer light-skinned actresses over dark-skinned actresses, and that could be a situation that could give her a bit of a struggle as related to finding roles in the entertainment industry. But there are options for Camille Winbush, and I don't think she really went to work to try to find them, because I believe what happened with her is that she got extremely comfortable with working on The Bernie Mac Show, and as she worked on The Bernie Mac Show, she got really comfortable with making those royalties for a point, not understanding when it comes to television shows as a revenue stream do not last forever. This is something that I understand as somebody who has studied the entertainment industry for over 25 years. I understand when it comes to TV shows and movies, the revenue stream will have a period where it will peak as related to salary and will peak as related to royalties once the show winds up in syndication and then possibly winds up in streaming. Eventually, what's going to happen is the revenue stream from that show is going to start to decline, and it's going to start to decline because once a show starts to wane in popularity from mainstream audiences that watched it in broadcast and then watched it in syndication, is that people are going to lose interest in that show, and that's why an actor always has to work on new projects, because you're only good as your last project. And it looks like to me that Camille Winbush really wasn't working on developing that next project to be her last project, and wasn't really working too much on side hustles. This is something everybody who is a part of the entertainment industry understands. You always have to be working on your next project and your next side hustle. Now, Camille in an interview said that she had an ice cream store, and I don't know if that was a good business to have, because when it comes to ice cream stores, they are usually places that run revenue only on a seasonal basis, and when it comes to ice cream stores, they don't really make money all year. So I believe what happened to that business is it's possibly wound up falling apart because, one, it was seasonal, and two, it was a business that possibly wound up falling apart during the pandemic, because during the pandemic in California, you had a lot of these businesses that were seasonal closed down, and then with people like Gavin Newsom implementing, vaccine mandates, that basically led to that business going into a state of decline. And Camille didn't really have a good plan for building her career outside of that Bernie Mac show and not really understanding how to navigate a course for navigating her career. This is something I talk about in depth in my screenplay, All About Marilyn, because this happens to a lot of black actresses, especially if they are young and they are working on shows. If they don't have a good agent there to guide them and help them set a course, what happens is that actress in many cases winds up struggling, and they wind up struggling because they don't know how to set a course for their career and be able to make their career move forward. Now, when it comes to an actress like Camille Winbush, a black actress who is from a TV show like The Bernie Mac Show, it's very easy to get typecast, and it's very easy to get typecast because people see you playing one character all the time. This is what's happened to many child performers over the years. They get stuck in playing one character, and in many cases they don't go out here and take acting lessons in order to improve their craft so they don't wind up keep playing the same character. Moreover, they don't go out looking for opportunities in small independent films. This is where you can wind up breaking out of a character by showing your acting range. And I don't think Camille went out here to go out here and put in the work or ask her agent to put in the work to help her find some auditions on a small budget movie, because usually small budget movies are the ones that have really rich multidimensional characters. They have really compelling stories, and they allow an actress to be able to break out of a role that they were typecast in, like for example with the case of actress Hilary Swank, who was known as playing kind of a dude bro chick on The Next Karate Kid and the TV sitcom Camp Wilder. And what she did in order to break out of the dude girl role was go and play in the movie Boys Don't Cry. And as she played in the film Boys Don't Cry, it basically shattered people's perceptions of her. And as it shattered people's perceptions of her, she went on to critical acclaim and got her first Academy Award. Now, she possibly wasn't paid much money for that role, but it allowed her to be able to break out and be able to find other opportunities. And that's what many actors do, like Mark Paul Gosselaar. He also did this when everybody was saying he was Zach Morris. He decided, hey, I'll go out here and I'll star in some indie stuff or in a soap opera, Hyperion Day. And eventually that led to him getting the role on NYPD Blue, and that allowed people to start seeing him as a more serious performer. And that's the kind of work an actress has to do if they hope to be able to maintain a career in the entertainment industry, because again, an entertainer is only good as their last project, and you want to make sure that your last project is something people are talking about. And Camille, I don't think, did that work to make sure that people were talking about whatever project she was in. And she wants us to believe that she has to go out here and pose provocatively on OnlyFans. And I, again, call BS on that, because it looks like to me she just didn't want to do the work in improving her craft as an actress and didn't want to go out here and really showcase her range. And there are lots of opportunities to be able to showcase that range. I mean, these days there's all sorts of, again, indie projects an actress can go out here to find, and they can also work in independent theater. Now, these don't pay a lot of money, but they will be able to allow you to keep the lights on. And there's also a lot of other types of film options. I mean, right now you've got Tubi with lots of different film projects. Now, they're not the greatest film projects. They basically remind me of the TV movie of the week, but those projects can basically get an actor's name out there and allow them to have a paycheck. And where there's also the option of Tyler Perry Productions. Now, Tyler Perry is not known for really making great films, but he's known for really putting black actors on and giving them work. So when I listen to Camille Winbush and she sits there and says, oh, I can't really find anything, and I can't really do anything as related to the entertainment industry. Again, I'm looking at her and I just wonder where, well, I know what's happening with her options, but there are options out there, and she's sitting there saying, oh, the money from the Bernie Mac show just ran out, and I have to wonder who is her agent, because any agent worth their salt wants their clients to work, because their clients working means this is how they make money. So I'm wondering what's going on with Camille Winbush's agent. She really needs to go out here and find an agent who's looking to get her work, because again, if this person's working for your 10%, then they need to go out here and make sure that they're getting you jobs. So I'm looking at Camille Winbush with a bit of a side eye, but I know how the entertainment industry works, but I look at her and it looks like they're not working for her, and that's a big problem that's as related to her career. Now, she also had the option of being able to, after leaving the Bernie Mac show, to looking to go behind the camera, and she could have gone behind the camera and learned the crafts of different things like video editing, different things like being able to put together compilations, or she could have even taken those skills and that she's using to have these pictures taken and went out here and became a vlogger and a YouTuber. Now, this is another way she could have made even more revenue than OnlyFans, because having a YouTube channel where you know how to curate and create content, this is a way that a performer can go out here and make big money. But Camille, again, wasn't really thinking that critically about the big picture of herself as a person, as moving on to transition to becoming from a actress to a celebrity, or like Mario Lopez did when he left Saved by the Bell and then went on to becoming a reporter on Extra. Camille could have also went out here and made herself a YouTuber and a vlogger, and possibly could have got herself an easy 1,000 subs and got her channel monetized by just going out vlogging. And again, vlogging makes a lot of YouTubers lots of money, and with her being a celebrity, she could have turned this into something interesting had she had focused on her passions and curating them into very interesting content. So she didn't have to go the route to OnlyFans and a pay site that was just designed to target cyber simps. She could have targeted a larger audience and basically got that audience excited about things that she was doing every day. I mean, she could have focused on cooking, focused on art, or just focused on traveling to different places. And this could have been a way to really make some money as related to getting clicks and views. But Camille, again, wanted to go for the lowest common denominator, and that's the main reason why I believe that she wanted to go to OnlyFans. The main reason why I believe she wanted to go to OnlyFans was because she thought sex was the only thing that sold, and because she thought sex was the only thing that sold, what she did was want to go to OnlyFans looking to sell the thing that she thought she had to offer, which was a look at her double D's and her backside, and that's what she thought she had to offer. And again, that just shows how deeply low her self-esteem was as a person, that she thought the only thing she had to offer the world was a look at her double D's and her backside, and thought having to sacrifice your dignity for this attention was the only way to get people to pay attention to her. But sadly, she didn't see that there were other ways to go and again go out here and get fame without having to be infamous. Now, Camille could have also went out here and went to college and went out here and got an education in some sort of major like business or law or science. I mean, that's what people like Mayim Bialik did. I mean, there was a whole lot of options as related to just college, and there were also options as related to skilled trades. Now, skilled trades is things like electrician and plumber, and even going out here and learning these skills and She could have also learned about IT, because these are, again, other skills that she could have learned. But Camille wanted to, again, not want to do that work. So what she wanted to do was pander to the lowest common denominator, wanting to tell us that she had to go to OnlyFans. And she wanted to make this excuse to say, I had to go to OnlyFans because it was the only way to make money. But the sad part is she didn't have the vision to set a direction for herself, and didn't have the vision to set a direction and a plan for herself. And that's why she's sitting here making this excuse. The only thing she had to do was OnlyFans. No, there were lots of different options, and if she had good management, that good management would have given her that guidance. A good manager worth their salt would have sat down with Camille and said, hey, we don't have to go do no OnlyFans to get some cheap pop and some cheap shock value. No, we can go out here and do things like going out here and do a vlog. We can go out here and talk to people on YouTube about different things, talk to them about different aspects of the entertainment industry, talk to them about the business, talk to them about what happens with actresses in everyday life. I mean, this stuff is compelling. I mean, I was so compelling, I wrote an entire screenplay around the struggles of a black actress in Hollywood and the struggles of actresses and the things that they go through after they have been typecast in a role. I mean, this stuff is interesting, and a lot of people would be interested in hearing it, but Camille didn't want to sell that because, again, she just wants to think, oh, sex sells, but the flash of sex only sells for a moment, but the substance of a person is something that draws people in and makes us care, and makes people care enough that they get excited to see a person that they're getting to know. I mean, there was so much more that Camille could have done with her career if she had the right guidance and the right management. And I don't buy that excuse about the royalties going down, because I know that the royalties do go down in entertainment. I know from publishing books that, yes, a book will get a lot of revenue in the beginning, but over the years, that book is eventually going to peak, and eventually sales are going to decline. And that's even if you write high quality books like I have done over the years. I mean, I've written books that are 10, 15 years old that still do get sales now all the time. And the whole thing is that even though those books do get revenue there and here, I still have to keep producing books because, again, you're only as good as your last project. And with you only being as good as your last project, you always have to be creating content. That's why I create content every year as the part of the SJS Direct catalog, because I don't want there to be gaps as related to the credits that I produce. So I understand that, yeah, you have to produce things, but you don't have to go to the level of OnlyFans and sacrifice things like your intangibles of character, such as your dignity, your self-respect, and your self-worth, in order to get little subscription revenue from simps, because eventually what's going to happen is that revenue is going to die out, like the late Kevin Samuels had told a woman who was on OnlyFans. And while this revenue dies out, you're going to lose your youth and beauty. And even worse than losing your youth and beauty, you're going to wind up losing your dignity. And when you start to get older, like Camille is right now, she's 34 years old, the same age as Marilyn Marie in the All About Marilyn book. Eventually, those guys who were thirsty simps, who like to look at that young chocolate backside, are not going to be there anymore. And where is Camille going to be when those guys start looking at that young, hot chocolate backside? Critical question I have to ask Camille Winbush, who openly mocked me on Twitter. I mean, where are you going to be when you start to get older, like my age, and there's no way for you to go out here and show off that booty, because these young guys are now getting older, they're getting married, they're having families, and you're still out here posing in pictures that these guys no longer care about, because there's a new young hot one out there. And with a new young one hot one out there, they don't care about you. How do you make a living after that? That's what Camille wasn't thinking about as related to her career, and wasn't thinking about that because, like many black actresses and black actors, they don't really think in the long term about curating and setting a course for a career where you have a direction, and that's all due to them not understanding how the business works. But as someone who does understand how the business works, I understand that a performer really has to have a plan for where they want to go, and if they cannot find roles in entertainment, again, you have to go out here and try to find other opportunities. Now, again, there's opportunities with small budget films, there's opportunities with Tubi, there's opportunities with Tyler Perry. Not the greatest opportunities because they don't really hire black screenwriters like myself to tailor roles for black actresses like I was doing with All About Marilyn. No, what happens to many black actresses like Camille Winbush is sadly they fall through the cracks, thinking they have to show the crack of their backside to get attention, but that showing the crack of your backside basically just falls into a white supremacist stereotype about black women being Jezebels, and sadly that's what works as a mark against a black actress because the black woman's sexuality is demonized in Hollywood, and that's what Camille doesn't understand. And again, she's looking to make short-term money that cost her her long-term reputation, and she doesn't see how this does damage to her as related to her career in the long term. And the excuse of, oh, I have to do OnlyFans, it just doesn't fly with most black people because we know that doing OnlyFans isn't the only option. And what she's doing basically is degrading the image of black women and saying that, oh, I have to sexualize myself. And that takes black women back into the Jezebel role and doesn't really show how you're going to empower and uplift black women, because it's easier to go out here and do OnlyFans for some fast money instead of looking to go out here and put in some work on something like I suggested, like doing vlogs. Again, that YouTube revenue that could lead to thousands of views if you make the right content, because everyday average women go out here and make these kinds of videos every day and they can get thousands of views depending on the kind of content they produce. So when I listen to Camille Winbush and her arguments about doing OnlyFans, it shows me that she only has no good advisement and good management, and if anything, what she needs to do is find herself another agent and find another way to do business, because the way she's doing business eventually is going to lead to her becoming more washed up than a pair of skid-marked Victoria's Secret drawers in the washing machine on the spin cycle. And as that pair of drawers basically winds up getting washed up, what they do is the attendant sees the drawers inside of the washing machine and looks to take those, and when sees nobody claims them, takes them out, tosses them in the trash, and that's what happens to many washed up performers. They just wind up washing out and getting trashed by the business because they don't know how to take care of their business, and they don't understand that entertainment is a business, and you have to have a business plan on how to set course in that business so that you can continue making money over the course of your career and eventually make enough so you can be able to take care of yourself. Now, if you want to learn more about the struggles of a faded former black teen sitcom star, similar to what Camille Winbush played in The Bernie Mac Show, you can pick up my screenplay book, All About Marilyn, to learn about the struggles of a black actress in Hollywood on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And if you want to check out my sitcom that featured a black teen in Beverly Hills, All About Nikki, you can check out the show that Marilyn played in, All About Nikki's fabulous first season, in paperback on Amazon.com. And you can find the fabulous first season of All About Nikki and its episodes on digital format on platforms like Draft2Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. Now, if you'd like to see me make more videos taking entertainers to the barbecue, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, All About Nikki, a fabulous first season. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meets Clueless in this absolutely fabulous African-American 1990s teen sitcom. Get all 13 episodes of All About Nikki, the fabulous first season, in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.